I just shared with you that good, bad, or otherwise, the way I do things is I'm a mover and a shaker, and I like to make things happen. I don't like to wait. That's why I wouldn't stay in my dream. I'll get up and chase it. What does that look like for you?
Speak Easy Studios. Speak and be heard.
What effect does stress have on your life? How does it affect your relationships? What about your business? My name is Lynn LaSalle of ItzWhy, and my clients call me the identity coach because they discover how to take back control of who they want to be and how they react to stress. This message needed to get out to a larger group of people, so I created a group that helps people identify and manage the stress they never realized they had. We're going to explore questions that challenge you to find your inner power that got buried so deep within because of that stress, and take back control of the situations that cause that stress in your daily life. A small change can make the biggest difference. You make the difference. Welcome back to this week's episode of IPP Thursday. Thank you to all of you who are returning and those of you who are new and tuning in for the first time. Today, I want to share with you a quote that I found on sophisticatedgal.com. They said, every morning you have two choices: continue your dreams or get up and chase them. So I'm curious, what comes up for you when you hear that? When you get up in the morning, do you want to just go back to sleep and keep the dream going that you may have been having? Or do you want to get up and go and pursue opportunity? Great question, right? I know for me, I never want to continue my dreams. When I wake up in the morning, I'm ready to go. I'm a mover and a shaker. I like to make things happen. Maybe the things that have driven me to want to do that have always been different things, not always all great stuff, but it's the way I approach everything. So I'll share with you a paradigm I once heard because I think it's kind of important to stick in here. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Have you ever heard that? First time I heard that, I said, heck no. I don't do everything the same way. That's wrong. And I had to really think about it. And I couldn't come up with anything, and I had to think about it some more. And it took me not hours, but probably not even days, a few weeks, to really think about that statement. Well, you know what? I discovered that the way I do one thing is the way I do everything. It's the way I approach things. Well, it's the way I get up and chase my dreams. So imagine for a moment, maybe your dreams are just the opportunities that you want to have, the success that you want to build, the life and the balance with the quality that you want to have in it. Maybe that's your dream. Maybe it's really not about sleeping, but do you just continue dreaming about it? Or do you get up and chase it? Have you ever given that some thought? And if you have, what's worked for you in the past? And if you haven't, what's one thing that you think you never did before that you might be able to do now? If you've never thought about whether or not the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, give that some thought. And what's most positive about that way you do everything? I just shared with you that good, bad, or otherwise, the way I do things is I'm a mover and a shaker, and I like to make things happen. I don't like to wait. That's why I wouldn't stay in my dream. I'll get up and chase it. What does that look like for you? IPP is all about partnering your inner power, not only with other people, but with yourself. So what's important is to have the support that you need to be able to kind of unwind yourself and get the answers to some of these questions that you may not have thought to ask. So it's really important for everyone to hear what you're thinking. So I'm going to ask you, whatever thoughts have come up for you today, or whatever thoughts you have at the end of this episode, please write it down in an email and reach out to me at IPP@ItzWhy.com, because I will personally read what you have to say. And if I can, I'll get some research and bring it to another episode so that your thoughts and concern can help somebody else hear something that they might not have thought of. So thank you so much for coming back to listen. For those of you who are new, I hope you'll come back next week. And thanks for listening to this week's episode of IPP Thursday.